And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host Ray. With me as always, we have Fada.
Why is everything making me mad today?
We have Dion.
Good evening.
We have Crystal.
Hola.
And we have Devo.
Yo, it's good.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Angry.
All right.
So we have a lot of topics to discuss. I want to ask, since y'all looked at it, where do you start?
Hmm?
Don't everybody say it once.
What just happened?
No, I'm asking was like if y'all seen the topics, where do y'all want to start? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I kind of want to start with the Floyd Mayweather thing.
That was ridiculous.
Okay.
Just
All right. As you know, over the weekend, Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul just had a boxing match where it really wasn't a winner, judging by the rules, but it definitely left the spectacle, and some people felt like they done it was a waste of time. So everybody who have seen the fight, how did y'all feel about the fight?
that shit was a joke. And then no, I want is one moment. Is a certain moment in the match that I want to. I don't even want to call it a match, but there's a one moment that I want to point out. Logan caught one good one to the jaw and staggered his ass, and Floyd Mayweather had to keep his ass from hitting the mat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Logan was on Twitter making excuses, saying that's not what happened. I was like, yo, are we seeing the same video?
I did.
Yeah, no,
I did.
it kinda
I did not
said-
pay money to watch that bullshit. I'm gonna get to that in a second.
I don't know if we were watching the same thing, but he was staggered, and then Floyd was holding him up, and then he
Let's call
and then
it
he
what it
recovered.
was, man. Logan Paul was asleep.
No, he wasn't.
Man was asleep on his feet, and Mayweather had to keep his ass from falling to the damn floor. Man, he knocked him out.
That's not a knockout.
He unintentionally knocked him out and had to keep him from falling to the goddamn floor. That's what
That's
that
not a
was.
knockout, Dion. A knockout
say
is
so.
when you're on the floor, on the ground, and the referee's counting. That was not a fucking knockout.
It wasn't a knockout only because Mayweather saved him from hitting the goddamn ground.
Well, then it wasn't a knockout.
Don't defend that shit. Anyway,
I'm not defending it. It wasn't a knockout.
No, if a nigga gotta catch you after hitting you to keep you from falling to the floor, no, nigga, you got slumped. Fuck that shit.
Thank you.
Anyway.
That's the proper word. You used the proper word there. He got fucking slumped. He ain't get KO'd though.
Okay, you know what? We'll agree. We'll agree from there then. Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. It is what it is. But here's the thing: we had to have known that was going to be some BS, not even worth our time. Because all anyone wants to see at this point is for Logan Paul to get into an actual match with an actual boxer and get his ass whooped like he deserves. Mayweather, for him being the superstar of a boxer that he is, we know what he's about. That damn paycheck. So, was he going? He showed, yes, he's very much capable of laying him the fuck out like he needs to be laid the fuck out, but he kept it about the money. To anyone who paid to watch that bullshit in the hopes of seeing Logan Paul get dropped, congratulations, you got played. And I don't know how motherfuckers did not learn from the Conor McGregor situation. If you didn't learn from that disappointment, that anytime Mayweather gets in the ring, it's not going to be nothing serious. It's a cash grab. That's all the fuck it is. I don't know what to tell you.
I
There's
think
literally
everybody
nothing else
knew
I
it
can
was a
say to you.
cash grab. I think everybody knew it was a cash grab. I think they just wanted to see Logan Paul get knocked out for
But you,
reasons.
but you
Go
had
ahead.
to know Mayweather wasn't gonna be the one to do it, and it's not because Mayweather was incapable of putting him on his ass. It's just he's not gonna endanger the money he's getting for putting on that show and making Logan Paul look good. That's all. That's what he basically got paid to do.
I
And when you
disagree.
I
and when you
hella
Disagree.
disagree
I
with that.
disagree. I highly disagree because
Hella disagree.
whether he lasted 1 round or he lasted 8, he was going to get his money. All he had to do was show up. So
if
whether he lasted
if anything, that reinforces my
whether he lasted 1 or he lasted 8, he was going to get his money, and that was the point. So, and Floyd Mayweather said it himself. I'm here to entertain. So he was there to put on a show, in my opinion, which he did. That's
it
why
would have
I'm
been
not
it,
disappointed, and I was
it would
actually
have been more.
entertained.
Yeah, I would have been entertained by seeing Logan Paul get his damn head cracked. But
What?
it is what it
Okay, so let
is.
me ask you, why do you want to see Logan Paul get knocked out?
Just the arrogance of this dude.
Floyd's
You've
arrogant.
only been okay. His arrogance. Okay, Mayweather's arrogance is deserved.
Oh
He can be as arrogant as he
God.
fucking wants to be. We're talking about no. When
Oh,
you're talking about Logan Paul, no. Listen to me. You're talking about a motherfucker who's arm and boxing. What's it been? 3 years.
About 2 years.
So we'll say 2.5. Um, had to at least to my immediate knowledge, with the exception of Floyd Mayweather, has not fought a real fucking boxer.
does he need
KSI.
to?
He fought KSI, and KSI actually was a boxer. He can box.
Who, Logan?
KSI.
Yeah, they fought KSI, and he was also a YouTube. Remember that big YouTube fight? That was them.
I think everybody wants Logan Paul to have his ass beat because of what he did in Japan.
That too.
And
That I understand.
I mean,
don't like it.
He's not a very well liked person. We'll just say it that way.
I disagree. That man has millions of subscribers.
That man has 20 million followers on Instagram. So
he is very well liked.
By what kinds of people?
From the Vine days, right?
The human race.
The Vine days?
I guess from the Vine days.
But my thing is, like, you could be well liked and not well liked at the same time.
Yeah. Look at Kanye.
Look at Trump.
Hell, look at hell. There's something to be talking about wrestling on this damn podcast. Shit, name a wrestler. Just name any wrestler.
John Cena.
Prime example. Roman Reigns, another one.
Nah, that's been reversed. Everybody's loving Roman Reigns now.
But going back, 3-4 years ago, motherfuckers was not fucking with Roman like that. You had a few people who was all for
him. It was never him. It was never him. It was the system. It was never him. It was the system.
That was part of it, but because of the way the shit was working, you had people. It was out of his control again because of the system, yes. But you had people cheer for him. You had people booing the motherfucker.
There wasn't booing.
That just is what it is.
No, they wasn't booing the character,
him,
not the wrestler. I think we even said this before. I remember what we said this before.
Yes, we have. It wasn't the rest. It wasn't the wrestler he was booing. It was booing the system because everybody knew he was going to be that guy.
And we didn't want that because it was going to be another fucking John Cena, which we didn't want.
Yes.
Anything else, Dion?
Now,
hang on.
I don't know how Dion stuck a bad wrestling take, and we're talking about boxing. Dion, you got to
I have
Oh my god.
You call it a bad take. I call it facts. But anyway,
The fuck up.
the fact that y'all don't want to face the truth about certain shit is beyond me at this point.
The fact that we keep debunking your truth is one thing.
So
Y'all see, no, it's not even that. I'll convince y'all see what y'all want to motherfucking see.
No, I'm convinced you don't watch
Y'all see
wrestling.
what the fuck y'all want to see. Cause, bruh.
so we all came to the same conclusion that the sport was rigged.
What, the
The,
fight?
the fight score.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like whose line is it anyway? The points didn't matter, so it's not like there was. It was like no winner. There was no judges really, so I don't know where they scored the points on.
I
There was
mean,
no judges.
it wasn't even an actual match. It was an exhibition. So they
Yeah,
said,
it was an
that's what they
exhibition.
said. So, it is what it is.
But I will say this: like as far as Floyd did, I think he was saying, and I think he showed why, if, even at his age, he's still um in our era the greatest boxer in the time, because there was times where like Logan Paul was trying to hit him and he could not touch him at all. And then there was one part of the fight where Logan Paul threw a straight and Floyd didn't even move his body. He just tilted his head a little bit and then counter punched him. And he caught him right on the chin. And it
That
showed
that
really
was that
people
was the
like,
shot that made Logan Paul's ass fall over or
no, it
almost fall
wasn't.
over.
No, it wasn't.
Was
No, it wasn't. That was another. No, that was another. The one Floyd hit him, it was just a right hook and he caught him. But um, the joint that the one I was talking about, Floyd, like literally, he just tilted his head. He didn't even move his shoulder, and then he just threw a punch, and it just countered, and you could just see it just slide by. So it just shows like how hard it is to hit Floyd. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see the size difference until like you got into the fight. I was like, dang, he got about 30 pounds of muscle on him. So
mm.
and like the only and like Logan like only landed like 15% of his punches. So it just shows like there's really levels to this shit. Now hopefully I think because everybody wants Logan Paul to fight a real boxer. I don't think it is happening because I think celebrities want to box more than boxers do, because I think boxers still have some type of honor for the sport. But other than that, I think we're going to still see fights like this, because I think Chad Ochocinco, even though he got knocked out, he wanted to fight Floyd, and I'm pretty sure what's his name, Tyrone Woodley, he's going to fight Jake Paul. So that's going to be another
Mm.
fight. So
Cha-ching.
it is, yeah. So the money's going to come in, and I think people's just going to see it. And Tyrone Woodley, he can, even though he's MMA, he probably be the one to knock him out. So any last words before we move on to our next topic?
All right. Let me ask you a question then. So, do you think there's gonna come a point where either of the Paul brothers are really going to like get into that shit, like start going after championships and shit?
Could be.
It
That's a
depends.
possibility.
It's a possibility, but why do it when like people are literally just giving you money? I say they ride this train out.
Okay.
What's the point of boxing a real boxer? Even though I'm pretty sure they're taking it serious, what's the point of boxing a real boxer if like I could get a name and you could get another name and we could just make money off of that? Because they not just made money off of this, they made money off of KSI, and I think that's what started it. They made money off of Nate Robinson getting knocked out, even though the main event was Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. And like they made money off of this. It's like if you just might as well until like people get tired of it. But I don't see people getting tired of it. So.
Nope.
I guess it's just. I guess it's the build up toward it. Just all the shit talking. There was a video of was that Logan himself or was that Jake like flashing Mayweather's hat from him and shit? And
That was Jake.
yeah, it was the build up toward the shit that I was just like, oh come on. I think that's the main reason people was like, okay, Mayweather need to drop this nigga.
Nah, if you really wanted to see him drop, he would have fought Tyson.
Okay, now that's a death sentence. I'm sorry.
Is it like? Don't get me wrong. Floyd could have literally knocked him out. We all seen it, but it's just like he was there to entertain. He was there to have fun.
Yeah.
All right. In other news, I'm gonna try to jump on the political side. Y'all, how are y'all familiar with the Senator Manchin saying no to ending the filibuster?
I saw it, but that's about it.
Okay. Former President, and this is from Fox News. Former President Donald Trump argued on Monday that U.S. Senator Joe Manchin is doing the right thing by saying no to ending the filibuster. Trump told Fox Business, Varney and Company, that if the filibuster was removed, which he called so radical liberal, court packet would take place and other very bad things that were unthinkable. In April, Manchin firmly planted his foot down, penning an op-ed on his decision not to vote in favor of weakening or removing the filibuster. Do y'all? I'm gonna be real. Do y'all really care about that, or is this something that people should care about?
I think people should care about it, but the problem is the American government is a joke. So even if it is a serious thing, nobody's really going to take it seriously.
I think it's mainly the threat of the whole court packing thing, because outside of that, nobody has a problem with it, really, because it's them. Like every major movie where you ended up in court was a filibuster ending, and it was always a good guy with the speech and stuff like that. So nobody really had a problem with it until, because I think this guy, I think Manchin, isn't he a Democrat?
I think he's a Republican.
He's a Republican. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's a Republican.
Yeah, because I know there was one Democrat that kept agreeing with Trump, and people kept getting mad at him. But I thought that was him. But no. But still, yeah, it's just highlighted now. No, it wasn't a big deal because everybody liked it. There were some Democrats that didn't want it, but it never became a big deal until the threat of packing the courts came in. So now it's a big deal. Like I didn't think any way of it, but when you think about that aspect, because then you lose the checks and balance part of it. They can put whoever they want, this and the other, and have biases. You're worried about that. So, but yeah.
I just want us to have a competent government because I guess I'll keep this short. I get one. I feel like something like this should be either decided or not. But I guess if you don't want to pack the government, you should really do something about it. But I don't know. Like I said about this last election, I don't know if this really counteracts with the whole filibuster thing. It really shows I feel like we really don't know what we're doing. Sometimes we're just winging it, and so it's like just fucking go ahead. So it's just like I feel like I don't know. The whole government needs to be scrubbed out. We just put people in there that is actually for changing the country instead of just chasing money. So
add term limits. Because a lot of them in there that's been in there for like longer than we've been living, and nothing's changed.
And now that you say that, I feel like they should have a limit on it, just like the president. It's just like it should.
Yeah.
Like it don't even have to be 4 to 8. It could be like I would say 8 to 12, but we need to put new faces on there because it's obviously was it the boom? I don't want to call them boomers, but I guess that's what they are. The boomers are the ones that's making the decision, and it seems like I don't know. The world's evolving, but they're not. And then I feel like them being stuck in the ways is just like fucking up people in our age age bracket, and we got to do that shit after they're long gone. And like it's gonna be some shit that it's gonna be hard to change or like give up and some shit like that.
I feel like it's more than that. I also feel like it's just who is pushing what narrative and how much it resonates with certain people. because you will have people from this generation that completely agree with the boomers and bootleg them, just like the boomers bootleg capitalism, a system which is kind of like on its last legs. If you really think about it, for the past 20 years, it's been nothing but crisis. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to dispel those narratives and put in people that actually know how to adapt to their fucking circumstances instead of just everybody going, well, if you just work hard, then probably you'll get somewhere. Because there'll be a whole bunch of there'll be not Negroes, but there'll be a whole bunch of people with that same sentiment, even though they're not boomers themselves.
Well said. Anybody else before we move has something to say before we move on to our next topic?
Nope.
I guess not. How do y'all How do y'all feel about critical race theory being taught in class in school?
Can you define critical race theory?
Right, that was my next question.
Critical race theory is an academic concept that is more than 40 years old, and I'm reading this from Education Week. Um, the core idea is that racism is a social construct and it is not merely the product of individual bias or prejudice, but also something embedded in legal system and policies. The basic tenets of critical race theory, or CRT, emerged out of framework for legal analysis the late 1970s and early 1980s, created by legal scholars Derek Bell, Kimberly Crenshaw, and Richard Delgado, among the others. A good example is when, in the 1930s, the government officials literally drew lines around areas deemed poor financial risk, often explicitly, due to a racial composition of inhabitant. Banks subsequently refused to offer mortgages to black people in those areas. Redlining, if most people understand what that really is. Um, Today, those patterns of discrimination live on through facially race blind policies like single family zoning that prevents the building of affordable housing in advantage majority white neighborhoods, and thus STEMI's racial desegregation offers. So does that help?
Yeah, and this is about whether it should be taught or not, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my thing, right? It is no secret that racism is absolutely one of the biggest foundations of American society today. It was literally built on racism. So from the definition that you've reiterated on critical race theory, I think that I think that it should be taught, but not in a way that will like not in a way that glorifies like whiteness and things like that. Do it in a way that's just purely educational. Like this is the reason why shit is the way it is because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like just straight like that. Because what tends to happen within the academic space is that they'll tend to use a lot of conjecture, and they'll tend to use a lot of um like it said it theories, and you know the words are not coming to me, but anyway, you get my point. Like they use theories and conjecture to basically explain certain concepts, but what they will tend to do with those things is they will tend to make it a white and black thing instead of a thing where there's shades of gray, or things that are actually historically accurate based on the time frame that it is. So for example, if we're studying Rodney King, right, and Rodney King happened in the early 90s, and that was one of the triggers for the Watts riots in 1992. That on top of Latasha Hollins, who died and shit. And you can link those with things like police brutality, and then police brutality can be linked to the slave catchers back in the day, and then you can link all those things into the foundation of America, which is racism. So if you taught with that kind of like lens, then I feel like a lot of people would benefit from that, because it would shine a light on what exactly it is caused that caused things to be the way it is in the first place. However, We do know that biases exist. We do know that there are teachers that they themselves, they don't know the real narrative. They don't know the real way to teach it. So then you'll have a lot of people that like don't have the knowledge, or um they don't have the proper context to these type of topics and things like that. So when they speak on it, it's like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm pretty sure like we've all heard somebody talk about things like this, and then they'll just miss, and it'll be completely off the mark, and they'll use that to kind of like justify why George Floyd would be killed and things like that. So I'm for teaching it, but it has to be taught in a way that's just pure facts, no conjecture, no bias. Just this is what happened. This is a result of what happened, and this is why it's prevalent to this day. I hope that made sense.
I agree with you. I think for one, I feel like, and I said this the same thing when they said they was going to teach LGBTQ history. I feel like the parents need to be there too, because I was like, maybe you may learn something, but I also want to know what and how are they going to teach this to class, and like, is it going to be informational, or is it just going to be just stuff you want to bring in because just because I feel like there are things I would say this we have learned in school that really never, unless you're like going into that major, really never helped us out. But I do feel um like some of the stuff that they're teaching, if they're teaching redlining, I feel like that should be stuff that they should learn. People have learned, because I feel like us in this generation, we probably learned that outside of school, like on documentaries or history lessons, or maybe some people in college, some people like people done lived old enough to tell the stories and wrote these in books, maybe not history books, but like autobiographies and all that other stuff. So I think that could be one way and all that. But I also feel like a lot of people that are against it, they don't want to expose the ugly truth of America, like the the side that I feel like they don't want you to know, like the whole redlining, and then like how how welfare was brought about, even though it started with the Black Panthers, or like things like the riots and like anything else, and how it can be like most stuff can be brought back to slavery. I know there are some people who's like they hate it when you bring it back to slavery, but I feel like everything is connected. When you, especially when you learn your history, everything is connected, and things do kind of repeat themselves.
Not to cut you off,
If you
but
really
I'm sorry, not to cut you
go
off,
ahead.
but there was a whole war fought based on slavery. That's all I had to say.
There was a what?
A whole war fought on the basis of slavery because the South got mad that, hey, our slaves, they make us a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And the Union was like, nah, bro, we can't have that. It's like, okay, we'll secede then. So that just goes towards your point.
Yeah, I was about to say you're right, because the way I learned how slavery is, it was just that white people was tired of it, or so the white people in the North was tired of it. Like it wasn't until I learned that out of school that it had to deal with like slavery, and like they really didn't want to give it up or some shit like that. So like I said, it's just like if they're gonna teach this, who is gonna teach it? Because I feel like whoever they put in there to teach it, they might not even agree with it, but they have to teach it just to keep their jobs. And are they going to give you the right information, or are they just going to bullshit through it? Because I feel like if you're going to put somebody in here to teach this, they better have like one, the knowledge, and two, the passion of putting this information out to our kids. And yeah, I still think our parents should like at least uh jump in some of these classes, just so maybe they can learn too, because I feel like a lot of other people don't learn. They find out just the same way like other people do, like through movies like Hidden Colors, or like from their parents telling them. So anybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All right. So, um, I don't think that the course should be taught in schools, only because The institution has failed our children plenty of times, and they would blame where the school is located. It's kind of like the wealth versus the poor. It should be taught in a separate institution that can properly evaluate the children's psyche. This is a topic that's just not readily, should be explained like this is this and that's that. They really have to evaluate the children's psyche. And basically, who will this target? Uh, we need to target the children that really feel that the stereotypes towards Black people are true by, again, doing a test to evaluate their psyche. I think that children having to learn something that really wouldn't relate to them because they are psychologically okay. I think it's a waste of taxpayers and time and effort. And we know that the school system does not handle even bullying properly. It's a lot of children that lose their life based off of not catching it at time. I think that this worsens the problem if it was to be taught in school. I feel like this is just an add-on to a problem that they currently can't solve. Speak.
I'll also say, go ahead.
Go ahead, D Wolf.
Oh, okay. So I see the gripe with it because first of all, it does, it says theory. And secondly, this is basically, they want this mandatory to be taught in all schools, this and the other. Well, I think this is something that should be an elective of some sort, because it's theories like this are mostly skewed to the left side. And we're already seeing that damage in the school system with what they're teaching our kids now at a certain age, and this and the other. And because it'll have its left slant on it, that's what people are afraid of, because, okay, now we're just going to continue with a generation of kids who think they can't get anywhere in life, this and the other. And, it's just being pushed on them. And we're seeing it with all these other things that they're putting into schools. But, yeah, see that as the other reason why, because that's what I'm thinking, because I'm already not happy with what's going on. Like, really and truly, I just want to homeschool my kids. Like, I'll do everything I can, because this is this whole thing is this is indoctrination camps. This ain't school, okay? Because the curriculum is not correct. Our history we've been learning is not correct at all, and not only that, a lot of what's being taught here is based on false history as well. There are things about the civil rights movement that we haven't been taught yet, but are discovered by this group and that group, but it's discredited because it's not, mainstream. Just so many things. And we know our history. We know what's actually out there in mainstream and what isn't, and we know it for a fact that they're bullshitting. There are certain examples of that, but so that's where I'm seeing this going, and the way it's being pushed now with everything's being pushed, if you notice. And a lot of these things are indeed theories that they're pushing. Because this should be just an elective. Anybody can say, let me learn more about that. So yeah, you're just running a risk of a one-sided view that way. And when I say that, it goes both ways too. It could have been something on that just the right loves, and you're pushing that. Not you, and you guys are the ones that like to talk about choice and all that stuff. It's the same thing with the left. They were saying the same thing, but I noticed the right does the same thing, where they speak the opposite when it's when the shoe's on the other foot. So yeah,
both sides of the same coin.
Yep.
And also, speaking on that, yeah, I'd rather, and even though I don't think it's a bad idea, and like I can see where you and Crystal are coming from, I also think we should be learning more about history that is facts, and like I said, we should be teaching like the Black history that is not MLK, Madam C.J. Walker,
Right.
Harriet Tubman, and all that other stuff. The
rest of Malcolm X.
People we don't. Yeah, so like I don't even think they teach Malcolm X in class.
They don't
And
teach. No, they just made a movie and was like, just watch this, you're good. And there's a lot more
yeah,
behind that. So yeah.
right, right. So like, yeah, it was like we should be teaching whether you like it, they like it or not. They should be learning about the Black Panthers because they created WIC. It's like they created stuff that the government uses now. So it's just like they should be knowing about the right. In my opinion, they should be knowing about the Rodney King riots. They should be knowing about the civil rights movement and the people, like other people that was responsible for it, not just MLK. And I love MLK, but it's just that there's other people that was behind it too. I feel like they should get the credit too. I feel like we should be teaching that. I don't know if that should be an elective or not, but it should be a way we should be teaching this to kids where they're just not knowing the regular, like I said, I'm gonna call them the big three. the, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Harriet Tubman. Like we should
Hmm.
there's other people.
Oh yeah. Like I forgot her name. There was somebody before Rosa Parks because Rosa Parks planned hers. It was they
Right.
set that up, but I forgot the woman who did it before. But that was just a spur of the moment. Nah, I'm done with this bullshit. That's why she said. And her story, caught wind, and Rosa Parks became famous for basically reenacting the same thing to get the same result.
You know what's
See,
funny?
they
You
don't
know
even
where I
teach us
learned that
that.
from? You know where I learned
Where?
that from? Drunk History on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Like, you laughing, but that's where I learned it from. It's
Hmm.
like why is and I understand like it's funny but educational at the same time. But why am I learning that from Comedy Central and about comedians getting drunk and shit?
Yeah. The most obscure
But
places.
yeah, it's the most obscure places I'm learning this shit from. It's just like why
Yeah.
am I?
Yeah, because they want to make it
Uh,
easy to access.
yeah, I guess it's medicine in the candy. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Yeah, just one last thing. Any institution that tells a child that they can't come to school with their natural hair, I doubt that they would actually teach what's needed um, when it comes to race. I'm just saying, they can't even handle that. It's a lot of little Black girls right now as we speak that were suspended for wearing their natural hair. They don't want to address that, but you want to bring in your own agenda and talk about a race that basically you guys can't even get it right. Half of the books that's ordered for the children to learn is wrong and incorrect information. No, thank you. That's all.
Hmm.
Uh, two things. One, I also agree that I feel like if you're wearing your natural hair, you shouldn't be kicked out of school. I don't understand like why people find that distracting because it's not. But I hope we get to a point where Black women's hair is looked at professional. I think I've said that before last week. And two, thank you for a transition because we're gonna be talking about Yo Gotti. um, Yo Gotti and the baby, they was showing previews of their new music video, and there was a lot of people, a lot of Black women. They was actually where all the dark skinned women at, to a point where Yo Gotti had to go on, I think, Instagram live and like show clips of there was dark skinned women there, and it also kind of sprung an argument about how dark skinned women or specifically Black women are treated in music videos, and why would you really even want to be there when those videos are about. So um how do y'all how do y'all feel about, let me just ask you, how do y'all feel about the way rap video be depicting women, and would y'all even want to see y'all women in videos like that?
This is kind of okay. Let me see how I have to look. So I saw the clip or whatever, and I was like, bruh, this is a music video I've seen like a million times. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever you see music videos like this, you instantly know what type of songs that like these niggas be making these type of music videos for. Like I remember shit like, but the thing is, like back in the day, they used to have a lot of variety. Like I distinctly remember "Shake Your Tail Feather" by Nelly and them. Like that video had a lot of women. It was dark skinned, it was Asians, it was right, like it had like a whole variety. Then there was like there's just a whole bunch of music videos out there, but this particular one, the fact that there's no black woman in sight kind of worries me because it's like, all right, so like what message are you trying to send here? You know what I'm saying? Is this just for entertainment or like what's going on here? And it doesn't surprise me that Yo Gotti and the baby is over here is, you know, making the music video, because I remember the baby, he dated that one mixed girl. I forgot her fucking name.
Danny Lay.
Yes, her she made that song, what, Yellow Bone or whatever? Was that the
Yeah,
song?
Yellowbone.
Uh,
Yellowbone.
it's got to be one of the most boneheaded shit I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, um, yeah, like the fact that these two are in the music video, it doesn't surprise me that they will pick nothing but like light skins and racially ambiguous ass women. But at the same time, what I don't like seeing is black women complaining about it because they are way too up here. They are way above that shit. So I don't like seeing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, all that energy. Like I'm seeing black women owning businesses. I'm seeing black women graduating from school. I'm seeing black women, you know, buying cars and houses and building generational wealth. Like y'all ain't got time to be fucking worried about two Negroes with a whole bunch of racially ambiguous women in a random ass music video that probably won't even go viral. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you know, it'll have like a few million, I guess, because the baby is a big star. But other than that, it's looking like a flop for me. But anyway, I don't really feel like this is something black women should be worried about. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like keep like building that generational wealth. Keep being awesome. You know what I'm saying? But to that point, I will also say this. I do think we're coming to a point where we can see, we can like read between the lines and we can see what something is, even if nobody is saying shit. So with this particular music video, I feel like what they're trying to convey and the shit that they're trying to, they feel like they can still get away with a lot of the shit that they was getting away with back in the day when, you know, motherfuckers was ignorant as hell. But now that we in this internet generation, like you can't really do certain shit anymore and expect people to just be cool with it. You actually got to have like an objective. You actually got to have like a good reason to why you're doing the shit you're doing. And if you really just doing the shit for clout, then we'll know. If you're doing the shit to send a subliminal message, we'll know. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, I just want to, I guess the first question about this video is why are certain type of black women asking to be in the video in the first place and not on the front of, you know, a Forbes magazine as a millionaire? You know, I think it's an inferior complex to be part of something that's degrading because the people that or the women that they feel like they're in competition with is in that video, but they're not seeing exactly why they're in that video, what it's representing. And, you know, just today, you know, I was on Fashion Nova and it was a couple of black women that pissed me the fuck off. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't want to wear this outfit, but kudos to whoever wants to. Now, this outfit, let me just give y'all a picture. The boobs was out. You know, the girl looked like she had a wedgie when she walked, her ass jiggle. Great. It's good for whoever wants to wear that. But as for me, I just have to represent my family and where I'm going in life. I don't have time to be looking, you know, risque and, you know, look like I'm ready for sex. That shit is in the, you know, bedroom. But at the end of the day, I had a whole bunch of women coming into my comments like, oh, you know, the hell with the kids, the hell with representing. I'm a grown ass woman. You should wear it. Everybody's telling me to wear this outfit. I got the body. I look like a baddie and all this shit. I ain't asked for all of that. Why can't you just respect that I don't want to look half naked in the streets Because where I'm going, I don't ever want to be at a meeting and people like, oh, look at this picture. I snapped this when she was at the club wearing this specific outfit. When I make it, I can do whatever I want. Like I said last week, I could be as vulnerable as I want. But right now, I'm at a spiritual warfare. I can't be caught slipping. So the fact that these women actually care to be in a video that's degrading, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around it. It's kind of like the sit-ins when Black people cannot go into white people's store because, they were racist. Why are you begging someone who does not want your money to take your fucking money? Build your own store. Make your own moves. Build your own lane. This is what we're missing. And it's so sad because the women that came for me were supposed to be uplifting each other. They can't even respect that I want to represent myself in a specific way. That's a damn shame. The Black women right now, as we speak statistically, are the most educated women in this nation. Yet, the way that some of them thinking, it doesn't make sense to me.
Didn't I speak on this the other day? About, what women strive to do, what they're looking for because there was no man in the house, this and the other.
Maybe.
We see that here. But I'm like, when I think about, all right, first off, I have no idea who this is. I don't watch music videos today or anything like that. But when I think of a music video, and from what came to mind, the first people that popped into mind is Bria Miles and Buffy the Body and all that. That's like the first thing I think of. So I'm like, I don't know what they're doing here, but I don't see the whole lack of dark skin, because usually when there is one, and like everybody like forgets everyone else, So I think it's just preference and like who chooses to do this, because I don't remember. I know it's cutthroat. I know race will be involved, but if you pull the hearts of everybody who's watching you, you're gonna get there, and you're gonna get haters, and that's what I've seen from like different models and video vixens and things of that nature. So I don't know what's going on here with just the light skinned girls and this. I'm like, this is old. This is done. Like we have. Come on, man. How many of us is on Instagram? Like, can you ratio out, unless you have a preference, can you ratio out what there's more of? Are you thinking about that? So, yeah.
No, I've sorry. Go
ahead, Kristen.
I'm sorry. It's a sensitive topic for me because even growing up in high school and elementary school, it was always the light-skinned girls versus the Black girls. And when I personally tried to befriend the darker-skinned girls, they would always try to make me feel like I did something wrong to them. So I would dress down, or it's a lot of things that I would do so that they won't feel like, I'm more than them in any way, shape, or form. It's just sad. It's really sad. And I hope it changes, because once it changes, once there's unity, they wouldn't be asking questions like that. Why are there no dark-skinned girls in the video? And constantly just hurting themselves unnecessarily. They would be building and making sure that the media is run by them. That's real power. Not asking why they're not, like, you're giving someone else the fucking, leeway. Make your own fucking video. Represent your own self. Don't wait for a man that don't even love his own fucking skin to represent you. That's where I have the issue with most women that think like this. It's really disgusting. It's like all the education in the world you may have, it's a waste of fucking education, period. You can't use it.
So I don't mean to sound like an ignorant man, but I guess this comment might be coming off at the ignorant man. It kind of like this whole thing. I'm not gonna lie, it confuses me because it's like at one point, I feel like these same women would be mad if a dark skinned woman was in there. It's just like all these women is good for is shaking their asses. So it's just like you want to be there, and then at the same time you don't want to be there. And I understand there are different women, there are different opinions, but it's just I felt for me, I get confused. It's just like, well, what do you want? And this is why, like, I've always had this theory, and it's not for women, but I've had this theory that I think women just want to be hoes and not have the consequences that comes with it. So it's just, and I know it's like very ignorant, but at the same time, I feel like it's been proven a bunch of times where it's just that like some of these women got college degrees and like high paying jobs. They still want to go somewhere and like shake their ass and all that stuff, even though they probably represent a brand that is just like six figures, or they just, I think, and a lot of them probably look after like video vixens and models instead of like people in their own profession. I've seen, because sex sells, obviously. Hell, I like, as far as the video goes, it's just like, actually, like, I'm not gonna lie, I did look for if I did see one. I saw one dark skinned girl. She had a blonde wig, so she was kind of like, oh, blonde wig. So you probably couldn't see her, but there was like a glimpse of her, and she was like doing splits and all that other stuff. So as far as the video goes, I think from, which is weird because I used to go to strip clubs all the time. Like a video like that, I probably watch for like 30 seconds and then switch off. And then maybe because this is a film major, and probably because I used to watch videos back then, it's like I do think a lot of these videos are just lazy, and it's just like, if like a shaky cam, you get a couple girls that they don't even do it for money, they just do it for clout, and they just shake their ass for clout and all that other stuff. So it's just like, I remember the days where, like, if you was a girl, if you was a video vixen, people knew your names, like the Melissa Ford, the
Mhm.
Bria Miles, the Buffy the Bodies, the Key Toys, the Vieras and all that other stuff. Just women of all shapes and colors and all that other stuff. It's just like, when I feel like, what do you want? Half the times it's just like, well, what do you want? Do you want to be in the video or not? Because I feel like if you're going to be in the video, you're going to complain about them being in the video. But if
Right.
they're not in the video, you're going to complain about them not being in the video. So it's just like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't.
I
And I
honestly,
feel like that's what Yo Gotti was in. Go ahead.
I just honestly think that a lot of these women that can't make up their fucking mind need a psychiatric evaluation ASAP. They don't know what they fucking want. They don't know if they want to walk in their queen strength or they want to be a thought on the side. You can't walk in both paths and then call yourself a queen. It just does not mix. If you are walking in low energy, which is that fucking Yogati, video, then I could see where you would be confused if you're trying to be a queen at the same time. It's like, which one is it? And I agree. It's like they don't know what they want. And when I say they, the ones that are concerned about not having, or basically having black women in the video or not having them in the video. It's just sad. The whole thing is just sad. I just really think that a lot of these women just evaluation.
Okay. Any last words before we move on to our final topic?
Shake your ass. Watch yourself.
Oh yeah,
And
I
I
do
would
want to
say
say, sorry, I do want to
Go
say,
ahead.
based on what Crystal said, there are ways you could choose to be that and still make money. I'm just saying, there are some that do that, but there are some that don't know what the hell to do with their life. I just, from
And I
personal,
agree too.
I know.
But I agree too, and I will also say this, and this is more or less deal with people. Can we get more creative with music videos? I get sick and tired of looking. I swear to God, I get sick and tired of, and I'm not saying this because I'm a film major, but because I was like sick of this even before. I get sick and tired of seeing the same videos where it's just like, if it's not like 30 niggas in one fucking room holding fucking guns, there's like 30 niggas in one fucking room holding guns with women shaking their ass and all that stuff, and it's shaky cam and a bunch of effects that, like, if like will give a motherfucker epilepsy. I really, really miss when like doing a music video was like art, where it's like art. Like I miss the old Hype William days where you had Missy Elliott in a fucking spacesuit
And
in space,
Busta.
or like yeah, and Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson. What's it going? Like that's my
Oh
favorite. That's
man.
one of my favorite videos of all time. Like anything with Busta Rhymes in there, and it's like I would love to see more creative videos. Like we have the technology now. It's
Mhm.
more than like we could do them more than just motherfucking shaky cams and like stupid ass effects that doesn't make sense. Like I would love for like as you know video directors like they take more of a artistic step because I feel like this has gone too. Like I was hoping this trend would die soon, and like you're seeing it now. Even with I would say this with Megan's videos, they're a little creative, and I would say even Watt is kind of creative in a way. But like every other video I've seen, like the baby, he has some creative parts, but like shit like this, like I really wish for it to stop. I really do. It's like we have the technology, we have the cameras. Can we at least get some artistic work? So
Okay.
well,
Okay. Misunderstood the last part from D Wolf.
Oh no, you remember you said you can't have both. You can't
Oh,
choose to be a thought or be a queen. I'm saying there's some that do both by making that their career.
oh, I don't look at. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I don't look at girls like that as a queen because at the end of the day, if you're half naked on a stage and looking for a husband, it just doesn't work.
Oh yeah, I see that if they're looking for a husband now and see how that's gonna work.
Or if they have,
But if it's just them, like
there's
yeah,
the child's
just do
gonna be.
you.
I never consider women like that queens because they've already fucked up their reputation.
Makes sense.
and Crystal, I will thank you again because this leads to my next question. the the transitions are on points today. Obviously, there like you have your opinion, and like you are entitled to your opinion. I agree with it, by the way. You are entitled to your opinion, but there are people out there that will argue you tooth and nail and say you're degrading or you're bashing, black women and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna ask this question: what do you think when it's criticized or when it's like proper critique?
Proper critique has to have a solution behind it. So, for instance, me stating that I wouldn't wear an outfit like that, but to whoever decides to wear a specific outfit, kudos to you, more power to you. That's me critiquing an outfit, but I'm not literally, I'm putting the ball in their basket. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do with it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, this is why you shouldn't do this. And I don't know where they're going in life, you know? If they then ask me more information, I would have a solution to back it up, or I would give my opinion that may relate to them better understanding why I made a decision or why I'm telling them a solution. A lot of people, they just tell people, oh, I wouldn't wear that. Why would you wear that? That's people who wear that is this, and this. Like they're very rude and they don't ease over they don't look at the emotional aspect of someone when they're speaking. They just say what they want to say, fuck if it hurts anyone, and not even leave a solution behind it. So that's what I see as different. One is to hurt someone just for the hell of it, and the other one is to tell someone because nobody else is going to tell you and have a solution to back it up. If you're going to talk shit, have a solution to back it up. If you're telling someone brush their teeth, make sure you have toothpaste there ready to go so that they can help themselves when they need to.
With that being said, do you think tone matters? Because some people like they're very direct, and sometimes it's very cold. But some people will not listen, even though the message was right. They may not listen to it because of their tone. Do you feel like tone should matter with your message?
It should
I think.
always. It should
Oh,
always.
sorry.
At the end of the day, it's kind of like when you're speaking to someone about something that pertains to them, automatically their walls is going to be up, their defense is going to be up. So if you're now speaking raw and just being stern with them, that how are you going to get the message to them? If you're soft toned and you are saying, hey, like I had a coworker a long time ago at my job. She would come in with a lot of hygiene problems and body odor. And I just pulled her to the side. I'm like, no one's going to tell you this. And my tone was very soft, right? And I'm like, the reason why everyone's speaking about you is because of A, B, and C. And look, girl, I got this. This is my, I had like a little bag with all my stuff in it to smell good, to make sure I'm clean. Because working with patients it could be exhausting. But you want to smell fresh during the day. And she made her own bag. She took it very well. But if I came to her like, girl, who raised you? You need to do how she might quit. She might quit. Even when I was telling her in a soft tone, she was about to cry, but she took it and thanked me later. She didn't thank me right there and then, but because I was the only one coming to her respectful and with a low tone, she thanked me after.
I mean, she was still embarrassed, but yeah.
That's on her though.
Man.
Yeah.
Ray, how come when we do that shit, niggas don't listen to us?
Because they're niggas. You just answered your own question.
No.
No.
Niggas is stubborn.
Because they're niggas.
The first time because like we did what Crystal did. The first time we went up to them, we was all cordial. We let them know what the issue was. The second and third time, though, I wanted to fight. Because why is this an issue?
Has more patience than I do.
Oh man.
Ray, sometimes I wish I didn't have that much patience because, oof, my God. Just every day. Why every day?
What?
This is like if most people know me, they see it on my face before it reacts. This is like there's a couple of times at like, especially at my school, like one of my friends, he would stop me before I say something because they know like I was going to say something and I was at my wit's end. And they say, don't do it. And they'll look at me like, don't do it. And I'm like, all right.
Oh no.
D-Wolf, you was going to say something? Because I felt like you had something.
Oh, yeah. When it came to tone, I think I agree it does matter. But when it comes to your familiarity with the person, how the relationship is, so if you're with that person for a while, this and the other, the tone's going to sound different because you're familiar. You're not really thinking that much about hurting their feelings or this and the other because in your mind, they should know whatever is coming through your mouth is to help you, right? Because it's based on the relationship you already have. So if something comes up like, what do you call it? Like a scenario that Crystal just gave, like if you know that person for like, say if it was a significant other or something, you say it that way, the wrong way, they know you don't mean it like that. They know you're basically saying, change yourself or this and the other, or get out your teeth or, so it depends on the relationship, I would say. And I'd also say, it's like with criticism is always it's always good intent. It's all about intent. So with criticism there's something good out of it. You want to see the next person win. So if they're doing something wrong, you want to make sure, hey, that's not, that's not how to do it. If they're doing it right, you'll be like, oh, good job, But judgment is like my way or the highway. Even if you could be right or wrong, like you yourself being the judgmental one, you could be right or wrong, but that's what judgment is. Like whatever you say goes. So if somebody's doing something, they could be right in what they're doing, but through your eyes, this is like, that's not how you do it. I'm going to judge you. That's not how you do it. And I'll say it to your face and just make you feel bad about it. So that's how I say it. I mean, it could work the other way. You could be completely right, but you still have that judgmental to like, even though I know I'm right, but because I'm right, you're listening to what I have to say. It has nothing to do with helping the person out. This I know it's because you're right. So it could work either way, but it's like the extreme of it. It's like putting your foot down on something. For criticism, you get something to gain. You help someone, and the other person, knows how to go from there.
I see what you're getting at, because I feel like there are some people that have a tougher approach to people, and they can get away with it. Like especially British people, like Simon Cowell or Gordon Ramsay. Like if anybody watched Hell Kitchen or American Idol, like they'll straight up blunt tell you that either you can't sing or you're a terrible cook, and like sometimes they take it. But also it's like I also ask, I'm also, I guess, the kind of person I am. If I'm coming to you or you're coming to me. Like usually, if I'm coming to you, I will probably be a little bit more gentle, as like I'm trying to and come to a more helpful approach, to where it's just like, all right, I don't want to embarrass you, but I do got to tell you this, and I feel like that's a good way. But at times where I feel like if you're coming to me, I feel like I have to be blunt at least enough to. I'm not trying to embarrass you, but at the same time, I want you to get it. Where it's just to where it's the point where it's going to sting, but at the same time, it might help you. Now, I understand, like, if you don't like my approach, you probably shouldn't come to me. Like, if you know that if why would you come to me if you really like, unless you really want it? Because I think there are people that want their egos coddled, and then there are people. So like, even if they come to you and you're like real blunt, they're just not going to take it. Because like Father said, there are many of times. It's what's a good one? We're not going to say his name, but he liked this one girl, right? And and Father said she's not in this mode where she's ready for a relationship. Do not
in the right
approach her like
mindset.
that.
Yeah.
She's not in the right mindset for a relationship. Do not approach her. And guess what he did?
Approached her. He
approached her and tried to get with her, and he got turned down. And caught an attitude. And then like
attitude is what made me mad.
I was about to say it pissed off Father.
You can't be mad about something you were forewarned about prior to, though. Like,
oh my! That part right there, or
shit!
It's just like do you not listen? It's like, do you not listen? I done told you. It's like I done said this to me. It's like if you do this, shit is going to happen, and then people feel like they're not. I think, and that's another thing. A lot of people feel like they are the anomaly. So it's like, oh, it's not going to happen to you. So when it does happen to you, it's like a culture shock to them. And then we're just looking at you, just like, I done told you. It's just, those are the people I hate. Oh, I'm not going to lie. Those are the people I hate. It's just like, oh, it's not going to happen to me. And then when it does happen to you, you're like, what? I can't believe it.
Those people are the most entertaining.
It's not about being entertained. Stop fucking embarrassing yourself. Listen.
No, by all means, embarrass yourself. I need a good laugh. The fuck?
No.
Why?
What the fuck is wrong
because
with you?
If homeboy, because if homeboy would have put his hands on that girl, and trust me, not that type of dude. But if he was that type of dude that'll put his hands on a girl, it's not that entertaining. Then you have to like intervene.
I mean, yeah, there's boundaries
because like pride is hurt.
Assuming things don't go to that extent. I said, yeah, there's boundaries. There's certain things you don't do, lines you don't cross, whatever. But let's be real. When you literally tell someone, okay, look, don't do XYZ, because if you go ahead and go through an XYZ, it's that and the third is what's gonna happen to your ass, and then you're gonna be mad at me. Like, what can you know?
Oh, I'm the main one to say, don't get mad at me. I done told your ass.
If you get mad at me, I'm gonna cuss you out. That's all I'm gonna say.
And he's done that.
I'm gonna just
And
laugh
he's
and
done
walk
that
off.
too.
You've already been like I already told you what was gonna go down. I already informed you of whatever. Don't come to me with nothing. But
That's not even my problem. My problem is, I know what I'm talking about. You've seen me give advice, and you know that I'm right 99% of the time. So why the fuck would I be wrong this time? Why?
You know what,
It's the
guys?
worst when they ask you. It's the worst when they ask you, and I actually warn them. I'm like, look, hey, you're asking me here. I don't like lying to people, and I'm only trying to help. So if you're sure you want to know, I'm gonna tell you the truth, the cold hard truth, the best way I can. But I'm telling
Literally.
you right now, I have to go through this with people because I have bad affect. So I don't show basically what I think or feel. It's hard for me to do that. So I have to let them know because I know about how tone is like your face as well. So I always have to give that warning, you know. And they still ask, and I'm like, yo, you asked, and I gave you a warning, yo. You had the choice here, and I wasn't going to lie to you. So I just hope you take it in the spirit it's intended.
So, guys, it's a question I wanted to ask you guys. So,
Go ahead.
as Dion said it, when you tell, who was it? When you tell somebody something, they should get it the first time, and if they don't, then fuck it, right? Does it depend on if you guys are in a relationship or is it a friendship? Like, do you have more patience with your partner versus a person that you've known? Because I've noticed something. People, in relationships, they tend to have less patience than people that are strangers with
okay,
similar issues. So if you're criticizing the person that you are partnered with, it doesn't seem like patience is there in most relationships. Am I wrong? So
You're absolutely right.
criticism always
see,
turned into like a battlefield because nobody's patient with each other anymore. But when it comes to a person off the street confiding in you, man, you feel like, the woman or the man on the campus, so you have all the patience in the world. Now, that could be unfair to the partner.
all right. See, it's something else I was gonna say, and your question kind of touched on that. All right. When it comes to criticism, I feel like okay, there's layers to this shit. Okay, there's what you're saying. There's what you're saying. There's how you say it, and then even beyond that, there's how the person you're saying it to processes that shit.
Correct.
Now, going back to who was it? Was it you or D Wolf talking about the tone of which you
Right.
do and say whatever? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where tone kind of plays a big role
Right.
because you you know me. It's times when you know how I am with certain shit. You know my fucking mouth. So I could be saying something, best intentions in the world, but I'm as blunt as a baseball bat. So
Mm.
if it sounds like I'm attacking you when I say something, I don't mean for it to sound that way. But that's the only way I know how to convey shit is to just fucking say it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're
So
right. I would, because the whole time I was thinking it was just like I had to think about my relationships, even with my like homegirls. They're not girlfriends, but friends that were girls, and they would ask me like stuff. Like the first time, I would give them solid advice, and then they don't take it. And
Mm-hmm.
then like the second or third time they ask me advice, I give a vague ass answer, and they hate it. And it's do what you think is right.
Mm-hmm.
And, and some of them they hate that because some of them they really don't know what you do, and I go do what you think is right. It's like, and the reason I say that is because if I feel like you're not going to listen to what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
right, while waste my breath.
I'm sorry.
If,
I think the other thing too, when it comes to strangers and when it comes to a relationship, when it's a stranger or if it's somebody you don't mind, like if you lose here, when it's that person, it's easy to just say, it's easy for you to just tap out. You know, if you have something to say to them, if they ask you for advice and they're not listening, and you're like, forget it, do what you got to do. It's easy for you to do that. But when you're in a relationship, you have a commitment, and it's internal as well. You want to help. So even sometimes when they don't ask, you want to volunteer information and criticize and try not to sound judgmental. But you automatically have more of that patience, but you're not used to it because you've been cutting it off the whole time. So when it builds up, then you blow up because you're like, I've been telling you, remember, I've been telling you, you asked me and I told you didn't like to hear it, blah, blah, blah. Now look where but you had, that's patience you wouldn't have with anyone else, So I think that's the whole thing when it comes to the difference between the relationships and, with strangers, why there's patience.
I understand what all of you are saying, but both of them piss me off equally. So I don't think I have a difference of opinion.
Friendship.
Like I've had people that I've known for years still ignore me when I try to give them advice, and then they get hurt, and then they come to me with the dumbass nigga face, and I'm like, don't look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Go to church. You need to speak
But
to
see
God, not me.
But see, that's why we started saying no one listens to Father. That's exactly why we started saying that shit.
People keep feeding into people that that when they keep coming to you for the same the same wanting to know on a topic that you've already discussed 1,000 times, we got to really ask ourselves, why do we keep doing it? Is it a feeling of feeling needed, or is it just you're hoping that they'll change? Because at the end of the day, the patience we give certain people, it has to match up with our truth. So if you give the patience to a stranger, you have to give the same patience with your partner. Or if not, then just, focus on one more than the other.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with you, but the thing is, I may never see that stranger again. If my partner don't listen to me, I have to see her again and then hear her bitch about it, and then I either have to say the right thing, like I done told your ass not to do it, because I've actually been in that situation. Like quick story. I was in the Navy, and me and my girl was, we worked at the same spot. We had this new girl, and this new girl, she kind of like, I don't want to say she was standoffish. If she didn't know you, she didn't talk to you, and it took you a couple of times for you to talk to her. So my ex was like, I want to get to know this girl, but she seems like she doesn't like me, and I go specifically says she's like that with everybody. Just give it time. She will talk to you. She talks to, like, everybody has been through this with her. Now, like, you see us now talking to her, and then she's like, "But I don't want to do that." And I'm like, "Why the fuck you coming to me then?"
All right,
Just
hard.
And then like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I love her to death, but my ex was hard headed as fuck. So imagine like her not listen to me and then complain about the girl not talking to her when I specifically told her what you got to do, and then getting mad at me because like she's talking to me and not really much of her. It's just like, I think she's rude. I said, no, she doesn't know you. Well, if you just listen to what I said, you wouldn't be in this situation. And she still didn't listen. To this day, she still didn't listen. We still argue about that. And it gets on my nerves.
About situation.
Wow.
Do you still argue about that?
What'd you say, Crystal?
Situation or something totally different? Because I could tell you what the issue is.
You say that one more time. You kind of broke in and out.
Oh, great. Just great. I could tell you what the specific issue is. Women, they are very manipulative. I know that the woman came off as if I don't know you, I don't really talk to you, but you got to really think about the psyche of the woman. If she knows that's your partner, why make it her duty to ignore your partner but not you? Like, do you I honestly want to know, like, do you really think that's legit? Like, she's just not.
I don't know, because like
Because women.
Okay, because even though me and my girl.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, because even though me and my ex we was working together, we didn't work in the same spot. We worked like she worked in one part of the ship and I worked in another. The girl that the new girl, she worked with me, and like since I done like spent time with her, showing the ropes. Like we never like I never flirted with her and anything. We just showing the ropes, like and all that other stuff. So like I done built the connection with her. Like my ex, she really didn't. Now even though she and I'm putting quotation marks tried because I don't think she really fucking tried. It's like I think she tried to like have a shortcut with it and it did not happen. So, and I understand that, sometimes women, y'all don't really like each other much and then like, y'all more or less one and done with it. If y'all don't like it, it's more or less fuck that bitch. But it's just like, sometimes it's just like, I felt like the one time you should have listened to me and I was right. Please listen to me. And then it's just like, and then when you come to me and I'm like, I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear it. It's your fault. But I got to suffer through it.
Right. So there's it's women trying to have dominance over a man that's already taken. So even though it was a bitch that she didn't listen, at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound like an asshole right now, but
go ahead.
At the end of the day, as much as she didn't listen, her punishment should not have. Like I'm sure she was looking at it as a punishment, but she didn't put in the work that you told her to put in, correct?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, she wants you to prove your loyalty by cutting her off and not dealing with her. Like she wanted a union between or alliance against the girl who really didn't do anything, but because she didn't speak to her, she wanted to use you, Ray, to form an alliance against her in a weird way. That's just how women work. It's kind of like, I'm going to show you, if you're going to talk to me, you can't talk to my man, basically. So she probably made that everything. I don't really know. I'm just bouncing off the facts that you gave me.
What's your astrology? What's your astrology sign, Crystal?
It's Capricorn.
That's why I fuck with you. That's why I fuck with you.
Y'all can leave me alone.
Capricorn. Yeah. Okay, my girl was a Scorpio, so I feel like what you said was correct. The sad part is my ex was a Scorpio.
That explains why she's so hard-headed then.
Yeah, she was fucking, oh my God, it was fucking hard-headed. It was just, I love her to death, but she was just fucking hard-headed. It was, and the funny thing is, you're right, and just not with that one girl. It was with another girl she didn't like. So
it's definitely an issue. What she was dealing with is betrayal syndrome. So every little thing she wants you to prove that you have her back no matter what, yada yada, because she's afraid to stand up for her. She's afraid to do the work to, I guess, form a sisterhood with someone that she kind of either has jealousy or she feels inferior towards. Every woman goes through it. Some more than others. But like me, if I'm walking down the street and I see a sexy woman, I'm gonna be like, yo, go ahead, spin around. I'm always giving compliments. That's that disgusting jealousy or whatever. But she was looking for you to fill in the blanks of where she didn't want to do the hard work, and it's a reason she's the ex now. But during that time, that specific situation right here, yeah, that was just a domino effect.
that makes a lot of fucking sense. and I hate that makes a lot of fucking sense.
I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just saying that's some dumb shit.
it's like that's the part. It's just like I just want y'all to get along.
Damn, you got him here reevaluating shit now.
It's I understand it fully because if your girl don't like, and I see this kids all the time, if your girl don't like this girl, she don't want you even looking at her,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like she can ask you for she's asking you for like help, and like she doesn't even care if like we work together. It's like that bitch better go ask another nigga. It's just like it's like, but I'm the only here. Well, she better go find somebody else. It's just like I can't.
Ruthless.
And like,
It's
and you just,
absolutely
and
ruthless.
it is ruthless, and you're just trying to be helpful because I don't like drama.
Exactly. I've been in situations like that where, a lot of women was flirting with my guy, and because we worked in the same location, guess what? He's making money. I'm making money. I know who the fuck I is. He knows who the fuck he is. If he can be taken away from me, a lot of women need to understand this. If a man can be taken away from you, you never had him in the first place. Okay, so what is there to be scared of? If you know who you are, there's no fear there. At the end of the day, but a lot of people, they have abandonment issues. I'm still in a healing process my damn self, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like when it comes to money, you got to be the type of woman that's okay, money first, worry about, fleas later. And if he's a king, he knows how to squash him. It's no need for you to do work. Let him lead. Let him tell those bitches, you know what, you're disrespecting my lady or whatever. I can't really fuck with you. But as far as this work thing goes, we can do this all day. And I've already explained to her that, we're keeping it questions, period. No emotional attachment. I don't want to hear about your boyfriend issues. Just keep it, work related. That's how kings move. But if it's a woman who's always going to make a problem out of every little fucking thing he does, when it's another woman next to him, then it's a deeper issue and you need therapy.
Okay, so let me ask you this, since I got you here, because all right. Let's say like there's been times where I improved my love to a girl and she like it, but like months later, even though I done proved my love many a times, she still will feel like I don't love her. So most women are like, "What have you done for me lately?"
Yes, and the reason it's meant. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
The reason for that is because it's probably something that they're too scared to bring up to you, that they feel insecure about. So like I said, a lot of women, they have to prove their womanhood and they don't want to seem weak. So if you're basically getting a lot of texts, some women, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to fucking ask him who's texting. But now she's going to create all these fucking scenarios of who could be texting you at all these times and hours of the night. And she's going to let that eat her up if she's not strong enough to be secure in herself. So if she's asking you if you love her, then it either means you just got to evaluate, oh, maybe I can bring some flowers home for her, or kiss her up, or have a romantic bath together and stuff like that. Do something periodically and you'll see those questions subside because you're reassuring her. Sometimes words is not enough. Sometimes even buying her favorite food is not enough. Some women, they need something extra. That's what keeps relationships alive, doing spontaneous things so that their mind could be off focused, off of being insecure in moments that they're just creating fucked up scenarios in their head because it's probably something that they need to do in their personal life. And a lot of people, they have a problem with depending on the partner to make them happy. That's not realistic. Nobody can make you happy but you.
That's the same shit Will Smith said to Jada. I can't make you happy.
Man.
That's why she had that entanglement.
You know what? Word is gonna go down in history.
I mean, think about it. I want you to imagine telling your girl that I can't make you happy. She going to bet.
She did look confused when he said that.
But Will Smith ain't innocent either. He is not innocent.
I'm pretty sure he's not, but he damn sure know how to keep that shit under wraps.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, they say before you can love another motherfucker, you gotta love your damn self. So
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
Yeah, but you also don't see nobody coming up. You don't see none of Will Smith hoes popping up. August. Let me not. We been through that. I'm not.
yeah, that we're not gonna restart that conversation.
Young nigga from NOLA,
We not
NOLA,
gonna.
NOLA.
Oh
And
man,
I like this album too. Sad part is the album that he came out with when that dumb shit was happening. It was really good. So
It was really fucking good.
it was really fucking good. So I'm not gonna hard. Shout out to August
Em-
Alsina. Any
emotionally
last words before
charged,
we move
man.
on to any last words before we move on to our final thoughts?
No.
Nah.
All right, we're gonna get into our final thoughts, and we're gonna start with D Wolf.
Okay. Um, damn. What's up, Fear? You put me on the spot. No, well, I guess I'll just say what I always say, man. Just, I guess, keep yourself educated and stuff, because that's the only way you could get around the bullshit. Just try to seek the truth, get around the bullshit, you know. And it speaks true to what what we were talking about with the judging and stuff like that. You get around the bullshit. That's why you have conversations, communication, all that stuff. You learn about the next person. I mean that in all terms. When I say educate yourself, I mean that generally and, specifically about whatever you're dealing with. And that's how you get by. Isn't that how a successful relationship is had? Because of open communication, learning about each other, weaknesses, strengths, and then you move on from there. Same thing with life, with history, with how to move on in the future, all that stuff. So that's it for me.
I like that. I like that. Dion, you next.
Um, I don't know who is interested or not, but going back to wrestling, no big deal. NXT Takeover in your house is coming up, and I kind of wanted to go over, the match card and predictions for that. Just a not even a full on conversation, just predictions for each match because there's a couple of big ones on this one. Like I already got it pulled up. If you don't mind me, reading off who's fighting who and just name a winner.
As much as I hate doing predictions, go ahead.
Okay, so we have Bronson Reed, the NXT North American Champion, and MSK, the NXT Tag Team Champions, going up against the Battle del Fantasma. All titles on the line.
MSK and Bronson Reed are retaining.
Okay.
I'm also going with MSK.
Mm-hmm. I agree with MSK and Bronson Reed taking that. I don't see it. It's just they put too much into building him to take that belt off him so fast. But that's just me. That's just my thought process on that. Now, okay, Xia Li versus Mercedes Martinez.
Xia Li.
Mercedes Martinez.
I got Xia Li.
I got favorite. I'm being biased.
You
Father
like
knows why.
Mercedes Martinez?
Huh?
You like Mercedes Martinez? I think you told me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's not to like? She ain't ugly. Let's see. Okay, this one's interesting. L.A. Knight versus Cameron Grimes in a ladder match for the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Championship.
I'm going to go LA Knight. I'm going to go LA Knight.
For some reason, I want Cameron Grimes to win that match, but I feel like it's going to be LA Knight. I
He
can't
could very well
explain.
win too. It could go either way, honestly. But I think
I
LA
can't
Knight probably gonna win.
explain why, but I want Cameron Grimes to win that match. And it's
I
probably
mean,
just because, as good as he is, I'm tired of seeing him lose fights.
Cameron Grimes doesn't. I mean, he be losing, but he don't be losing OC. He don't be losing all the time.
Yeah, yeah, he has lost a couple back to back, and it was like, give him. Let me rephrase that. Give him a big victory, like this.
Yeah, but that could also go the same for LA Knight because he lost his second match.
Yeah. Okay.
So he needs it just as much as Cameron Grimes does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with LA Knight.
All right. Let's see. Then we have Raquel Gonzalez and Ember Moon for the NXT Women's
Please,
Championship.
good for the love of God, Raquel, you better
I
retain
got
that
Raquel
motherfucking
retain.
title.
Raquel's going to retain. Raquel's going to retain.
She better retain that title.
Yeah, I'm going with Raquel.
She's going to have to drop that belt eventually, but not to Ember Moon.
Well, everyone gotta drop their title eventually, Dion.
I know, but it's just like not to Ember Moon. No, just no. And then you have this hot mess of a match. Karrion Kross defending his title against four other combatants: Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, and Johnny Gargano.
I got
think
Curry.
Cameron. Yeah, I think he's gonna retain. As much as I want Adam Cole to become NXT champion, actually, okay. So here's the thing, right? I want Karrion Kross to retain, but eventually, I think Kyle O'Reilly's probably going to take the title away from him. I think that's what that match is going to build towards.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
I'm not certain of the aftermath, but I do agree with Kross retaining.
Shout out to my boy Adam Cole, though. That's my boy.
Adam Cole, baby.
And
So
that's that. That's that. Obviously, not many matches because we all know that Fatal 5-Way is going to take an eternity. But, like, that match is an easy 45-minute match in of itself. But, yeah, that's all I want to go
NXT,
over.
them matches be long as shit, so.
Like I said, five whole people going at it at once, that's an easy 45 minutes.
All right, is that it?
Yep.
All right, Crystal was on you.
All right. All I have to say, a flower can't tell another flower how to bloom. So if someone has a different opinion, it should not be eternized, making yourself a victim. I finally watched Invincible, and all I'm gonna say is, oh my God, I was not prepared at all.
I told you. I told you. I told you.
Oh no, did you watch the
Like,
whole thing or just the first?
yeah.
Just the first one.
I'm on, I think, episode 4 or 3. Let's just say that each time I feel like I need therapy, and
I told you that show was gonna fuck with your emotions, man.
but you know what? I was laughing at all the scenes that people were dying at.
Of course.
You need help.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. I see why. Because sometimes that gore be like, yo, they like made a paper mache or some shit like that.
Because it does not fit the tone. You think it was something on the CW or something, but once once they start fighting, it's something else. It's like it's literally like an animated voice. It's crazy because you don't see that immediately when you watch shows. Like, okay, it's another campy superhero show, and that's how they act in it. In Invincible, that's how they act from any show we've seen as kids. But once the gore starts, you're like, damn, son, this.
Right.
We didn't get a break.
When you get to episode 5 and episode 8, holla at me. That's those.
No.
I'm not spoiling nothing, but when you see them 2 episodes, holla at me. I need to know these reactions.
Oh man.
Nah, talk to me when you make it to the finale, cause god damn.
That's episode 8, Dion.
This is like Full Metal Alchemist with the Chimera scene. Like,
how dare you bring that up?
Nah, bro. I don't care what no one say. Only 2 shows top those for me. Number 1 is Elfin Lied. That show is fucking traumatizing this shit.
Yo, right?
And number 2,
what is it called?
fucking Attack on Titan. I don't care what no one said. The very first episode of Attack on Titan is some of the most traumatic shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And Elfin Lied, like, you just worry for the main character all the time.
I need to finish Attack on Titan. I'm in the middle of the final season for that. I need to finish that shit.
I'm trying to rewatch it.
I never seen Elfin Lied, so I gotta catch up on that.
Yeah, me neither. I never took the time to watch that one. But I need to finish Attack on Titan.
Like the last episode of Death Note still gets on my fucking nerves, but I guess I should watch Elfin Lied.
Did anyone see the ending of Samurai Jack, or is it just me?
I saw the ending. I don't remember it, but I saw it.
I gotta watch it again, but
same. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
That's all
I missed it.
Good.
No, the one show where like the ending like really got me in my fucking feelings. Cowboy Bebop.
Oh
really?
Yeah. Oh no.
The ending of that hit me.
Really?
I don't know why they did it like that though.
Speaking of, you see who's gonna play him in the live action?
John Cho.
Yeah. It was supposed to be Keanu for the longest time, Oh, I don't know.
I think they need to lay off the live action animes because the ones I've seen have all been trash.
I think this one. I think I'm holding out. I think this one they will do it right. I think this one.
I think Alita was good, but that wasn't an anime. That was a manga, right?
Yeah, that was a manga.
That was a manga, and that was really good.
I like that one. Yeah, Alita, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, but it wasn't an anime, so I can't put it with
Alita Battle Angel. So that's something I might need to look at.
It's on HBO.
It's on HBO Max? Anyway.
I'm holding out for Cowboy Bebop, even though I said the same thing about Death Note, and I got highly disappointed in Death Note live action.
Everyone I know
Ray
who's seen Death Note was like, no, don't watch it.
Oh my god!
Father said it was cute. It was
an adorable movie. That movie is like if your 3-year-old drew you a picture of you and her having some ice cream. That is that movie. It's adorable. Come on, you hang that shit up on the fridge and stop complaining.
I mean, I can't judge because I've never actually watched it. Again, it's not because of anything anyone told me. It's just my personal experience. Last time I've seen anime being translated into any form of a live action movie, it's been garbage.
Here's my thing.
I want you to watch it now, Dion. I want you to watch it.
Here's my thing. I feel like at this day and age in 2021, you should be able to look at a movie trailer or a movie teaser that is based on an anime and know whether that shit is going to be trash or not at first glance.
There was one I actually enjoyed that was actually based off of anime. was I think it was, is it Blood Plus? I think it's Blood Plus.
Yeah, Blood Plus is fucking fantastic.
Yeah. That
Blood
one was
Plus.
good. For live action, I was surprised. I was my expectations were lowered because I already know, but I was surprised how good that one was.
And plus, the
Because it was
series
based
in it
off the
itself
little
was
movie.
good too. I like the series.
I heard
Yeah, I
Rurouni
seen all
Kenshin is
I
good.
seen all of them and the OVAs and all that. It's crazy.
I kind of making me want to rewatch it now because I really fucking enjoyed that series.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Rurouni Kenshin is good, so I need to.
Yeah.
I need to
Samurai
check that
X.
one. Yeah.
There's a like a follow up like series, an epilogue series or whatever to Rurouni Kenshin where I think he's like terminally ill or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I need to find that.
I got when I saw it was on the Anime Network. Remember you had to order that extra channel on Cablevision?
Yeah.
That's how I saw it. So I don't even know how to find it now.
See, I ain't got that kind of money, but anyway.
Anyway, Kristen, was that it?
Yeah, I was at. Oh, wait, I lied. I did want to ask Dan. Yeah, when we were in elementary school, right?
Yeah.
Why did you always curse everybody out, even when they didn't even do anything to you?
That's the most Dion shit I ever heard in my life.
I was about to say the same thing. This sounds like Dion.
I don't like people.
For going through, because it just flashed in my mind. Like, did he curse that guy? Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I don't like people.
All right, fair enough. That's all I have to ask.
God gave Dion the power of cussing niggas out.
Kindergarten. Oh my god.
And then here's the truth. I'm genuinely a nice person. Just don't give me a reason to, I don't start fights. I don't start no type of negativity. If anything, those who know me know I steer away from conflict. It's when you give me absolutely no choice but to go off on your ass, cuss you out, physically fuck you up, whatever. Okay.
Right. Listen, because I've known this dude since I think either kindergarten or second grade. Okay?
First grade. We were, if I remember correctly, we had no. It's second grade.
Miss
Hell, I remember our second grade teacher. Shit.
Or Miss Moore. Either way,
yeah.
All I know is that once he got frustrated in class, we would hear a whole bunch of curse words, and it would be a fight almost a fight if no one broke it up. It was me and I forgot her name, Lily or Lynn. I can't even remember her name, but it was always me and this other chick that was always trying to figure out why Dion was trying to kick that. So, that's just a little.
No, okay. You want to know the real reason for the hostility? Okay. For some reason, people think it was cool to fuck with me just because I was one of the smaller kids in the class. Yeah. Well, not one of the smaller. I was always the smallest person wherever the fuck I went. I think that's where the whole Napoleon complex thing comes from. It's not that we are just, aggressive just for the simple fact that we're short. People keep fucking with short people because we're short. And they think we won't fucking hurt them.
Right. Mm-mm.
Yellow is the color of sun rays.
Keep on moving. We don't stop. No.
I'm sorry. Krista, was that it? I'm sorry. Father's on you.
All right. First off, shout out to Tiana Taylor. Beautiful ass woman.
Oh yeah, sexiest woman alive. Hell yeah.
Don't worry, Ray. That was just a shout out. I'll give you the full range of that one.
Okay, go ahead.
And the second one, I'm sad because Pose is done officially. My show is gone, y'all.
Oh, but hoes were done Like what? What are we talking?
I thought he said hose
I said
without the
pose.
L. I thought he said
Pose.
hose with no L. I thought he said hose. I was like, wait, what?
It's
That show
officially
is
over.
good. That show is good. I gotta do a review on that show soon, but that show's
Which show?
It's called Pose.
Oh, okay.
That's probably one of the best shows I've seen this entire generation, and I'm just sad that it's gone. But I only bring that up to say that I did not like the ending.
Oh, don't spoil it for me because I haven't
Yeah, I'm
seen
not
it.
gonna spoil it for you, but you're not gonna like it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. All right. Is that it? Is that it, Father?
Yeah, long live Pose.
Long. Okay. Before I get into Tiana Taylor, I want to say that Eve versus Trina is going to be happening soon. And as much as I like Trina and her catalog, I think Eve is going to wash that ass.
Mm.
When you realize how much shit Eve got, not just like some of the stuff she was featured on, but some of the stuff her own catalog and shit, especially like the stuff she did with Dr. Dre, she's gonna wash that ass. I love Trina though. Shout out to Trina. Also shout out to Tiana Taylor for getting sexiest woman alive. But I also had to look at it as like, was she really the first black woman to really be considered sexiest woman alive?
Yeah, for
And this is no
Maxim. Yeah,
disrespect. And this was
I
no
thought I thought
disrespect to her.
Beyonce got that title at one point.
She never did.
No?
No.
Damn.
And I looked it up too on Wikipedia. Now it went as far as 2017, but she's never really gotten it. Not but Halle Berry was labeled sexiest woman alive in like 2003. Now if you got to consider her black or biracial, depending on what you depending on how you feel about it, Halle Berry did get it. But shout outs to Tiana Taylor. I know sometimes we look at it as like we don't need white validation to understand that, to know our beauty, which is true, and I agree with that. But also I'm also the type of person that's just like I like stats. And if I feel like I could dominate here, I should feel like I could dominate in other places. So and like Rihanna, she's been like third. And the names of the white girls that that she done that lost to her, like Jennifer Lawrence, you be like, hell no. But like I said, it's either or. People in their personal choice. I also would like to see like some of our black magazines, like Essence, or I don't think Jet be around no more. But let's say Essence do like top 100 black women, sexiest black women, and all that other stuff, just to show appreciation. The way like this podcast have definitely shown appreciation for black women. Like we definitely show appreciation to black women. I would like to see that for our black magazines, just to say the 100 sexiest black women and all that. I would like to see that. That way we can have something for our own.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Real quick. I want to bring someone up. K. Michelle, did you see her recent pictures?
No, but does it involve her ass?
No. Here's the funny part. She looks unrecognizable.
Oh yeah.
More surgery?
No. It's not, sir. What was it? Surgery? Hold on.
Now I gotta search it. See what you made me do?
Nah, but like she legitimately looks fucking different as fuck.
Good or bad?
In a good way, in a very good way. But I did not fucking recognize her.
Is it like Delicious and like her having contour and people didn't recognize who the fuck that was?
Yeah, it kind of had that similar type of like spin to it. But you want to know what's funny? K. Michelle got on IG and cried that why is everyone saying they don't recognize me? Like, what the fuck are you crying for?
I just looked it up.
So different.
Bruh.
She looks like what's her name? Keisha Cole, maybe?
Yeah. She does.
Okay,
I would have thought that was Keisha Cole.
First off, I fucking love Keisha Cole. That is the most precious thing on this earth. Second of all, K. Michelle called Tamar Braxton a Muppet, and that still cracks me up to this day.
You know what?
Am I a Muppet? I'm sorry, Tamar. I love you, Tamar, but
I'm
that's
sorry.
just a
That shit was funny. I can't. That shit fucking killed me. Oh my god.
It looks
oh shit. But yeah, she does. Yeah, she looks unrecognizable.
and it looks like she decreased in her butt size.
Yeah, because I think it got infected.
Yeah,
Like the
she did. It
implant,
got infected.
it got infected, so she was forced to take it out. And then we doubled down on her ass and be like, you see, this is the size God wants you to be. Don't change it.
I laugh at the most awkward moments. You're telling me her ass got affected and I just bust out laughing. So I apologize. Words
Yeah.
don't sound right. All right. I'll get there. Don't worry.
Uh,
On that note, I would like to thank the panel for jumping on another great episode of the podcast. I would like to thank for y'all to listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is you know what. Let me just say podcast, and we signing out. Peace.
Cheers.
deuces.